Hi there. Thanks for joining me today at this channel. So the question I want to ask is, why do you get persistent headache? What are the triggers? Now, before I carry on, let me mention the three things I'm going to conclude in this topic. The first one is causes of headache. The second one is how do you manage your headache? And the third one are the warning signs of headache. The reason why I wanted to deal with this topic is because as a pharmacist with decades of experience, I've had a lot of people come in with questions about headaches. Now, I had this person who said to me for 2 weeks they have been having headaches and they just couldn't shift it. So the question I asked so many questions. Now, I'm sure most of us have had headaches at some point in the past. Headaches could be triggered by low blood sugar or high blood sugar. Headaches could also be due to a hangover. Maybe you had too much to drink. And also it could be due to migraine, or headaches could be due to things like infections or even side effects of medications. Headaches could also be due to brain tumor. But the thing is, I went through all this with this person and there wasn't anything they could say this is why they were having headaches. In other words, they weren't diabetics, they didn't have high blood pressure, there was no infection, they didn't have any sinus infections, and there was no, anything of thinking of the fact that it could be tumor. So why were they having persistent headaches? So we're sort of coming to a point where we're now thinking we can't find out what's going on here. So I did ask the person, so what has changed in your life in the last couple of months? So it did transpire that she started a new job. 2 months ago, she's been into a new job. And I say, okay. But the thing is that before you say anything, she loved her job. She's enjoying what she's doing. But the persistent headache has been going on with around the time she started this new job 2 months before now. And so I said to her, are you enjoying this job? She said, yes. I said, think of anything that have changed. And so it transpired that before she started this job 2 months ago, she wasn't earning any job. She goes to bed whenever she likes. She wakes up whenever she likes. And because she didn't have a job 2 months before now, she didn't have the time when she would go to bed. And so it transpired that normally she goes to bed around 11, 12 midnight and wakes up whenever she liked. So when she started this new job, she carried on going to bed very late, like 12 midnight. But the thing that three things changed in her routine. The first thing is that she had to wake up so early to commute to her job. So the waking up early was one thing. Also, she had to do 2 hours of commuting to the job. And finally, even though she is having a fantastic time at this job, she had new people around her, new environment, new job, new challenges. So it transpired that the fact that there was a new routine, there was 2 hours of commuting, and there was this issue of her having to interact with different sort of people. And don't get me wrong, they were nice people, nice environment, nice job, but that change in everything was giving her persistent headache. And one thing else, that even though she's healthy, she hardly drinks, she hardly smokes, she doesn't do caffeine, but she was getting this headache. But one thing that she never did was any kind of relaxation or going for a walk or any kind of exercise or swimming. So at this point, it looked like we are coming to the point of why she was having headaches. So I did say to her, right, maybe we're onto something here. I said to her, go home, change your habit, starting with trying to go to bed a bit earlier. And also, she needed to change her mindset, because the thing is, even though she had this fantastic job she's doing now, there was still some sense of apprehension of having to do something new. So I did say to her, try and go to bed a bit earlier, and also try and find something that will make you relax. She loves swimming, so I said, fantastic, why not go to swimming? And I did say to her, try these changes and see how you get on. If things doesn't get better, come back and see me, or go and see your doctor to find out why you're getting headaches. Of course, I never saw her. Nothing changed. I didn't, she never came back for 2 weeks. Then she turned up one day, 2 weeks later. I said, how are you getting on? She said, fantastic, the headache has gone. I was great. So I said to her, so all it needed, because you started a new job, which you are enjoying, it was a fantastic job. It wasn't like she hated the job. It was just the fact that her routine changed. But now she started swimming, and also, she started going to bed a bit earlier. That was what solved her headaches. So this is a kind of trigger for headache that people don't really think about. They think having headache has to do with high blood pressure or brain tumor or infection, or side effect of medication, but there are other subtle things that can give you headaches. So going on to talk about management of headaches, so you can see, like I said at the beginning, one of the things you can do to manage your headache will be, trying to relax. If you're the type that drinks loads of caffeine, maybe cutting down on your caffeine. And the other thing you have to ask yourself is, how much water do you drink? Do you actually drink water? That might be something you have to consider. Maybe your type doesn't like drinking water. Fair enough. But think of, maybe you can dilute some squash and getting more water into you. So that is sort of a way you can manage the headache. Another thing is, have you tried taking paracetamol or simple painkillers? I bet some of you will say yes. The thing I would say about warning signs to watch out for if you're having persistent headaches. Number one thing to look out for is, how long have you had the headaches? So you've tried everything. You've tried changing your habit or lifestyle. You've tried getting some decent night's sleep, and the headache is still there. Maybe it is time to consider seeing your GP to find out what is going on. That's what you need to think about, because sometimes headaches could be, some people say, oh, when my blood pressure is high, I have headaches. I mean, it does happen in some, but not all. So having headaches the headaches is like your body telling you something is not right. It could be high blood pressure. It could be that you have issue with diabetes. It could be you have a stressor in your life that maybe you didn't think is a stressor. Or worse still, it could be due to a brain tumor. So my advice to you as a pharmacist with decades of experience is this. If you're having a headache that you've tried all you can, you've taken some painkiller, you've made some lifestyle changes, and nothing seems to be happening, I would say, go and see your doctor, go and see your GP, because you never know. It's always good to find out what's going on. Thank you for watching. And also, if you have friends or somebody you know who's been struggling with headaches and they have been pushing it aside thinking, oh, it's nothing, it's just simple headaches, please get them to watch this. And also, they should think of seeing someone, because if they have tried to make changes and nothing has worked, maybe they need to see someone. Thank you. and goodbye.